Well, it is a story of a marriage gone bad, played out in court today in the second murder trial of a former Missouri City police officer.
Robert Fratta is that former Missouri City police officer. He's being retried for the murder of his wife, Farah Fratta, back in 1994. And today, his wife's friends gave their accounts of the couple's relationship. Phil Archer is joining us live from downtown. Phil, what details were given in testimony today?
Well, one witness in particular described it as a happy marriage turned bitter, portrayed Robert Fratta as angry about the breakup, and his wife, before she was killed, as increasingly fearful of him. Kitty Sneed was Farah Fratta's best friend. She worked with both Farah and Robert Fratta at American Airlines before they married. Sneed says the union was a happy one at first, but after giving birth to 3 children, Farah separated from her husband and filed for divorce. Prosecutors contend she did it because Robert Fratta began making bizarre sexual demands. Sneed says Robert didn't want the divorce. He told Sneed it was against the teachings of the Bible. She says he was angry that his wife left him. 6 months before Farah's death, Sneed says her friend called her, frightened because Robert was watching her house. Sneed says her friend asked ominously if she thought Robert Fratta was capable of murdering her. Farah Fratta was last seen alive the night of November 9th, 1994, by her hairdresser, Mary Bell Sains. Sains testified that Farah left her hair appointment early to rush home to her children. But when Farah Fratta pulled into the garage that night, her children weren't there. Instead, she was met by a man with a gun. Fratta's attorneys admit he was unhappy about the divorce, but insist he had nothing to do with his wife's murder. They say the testimony against him, all of it, is hearsay. But the last witness today was a woman who told jurors that a month before his wife was murdered, Fratta asked her if she knew anyone who could kill her. That's coming up at 6. I'm Phil Archer, KPRC Local 2.
We'll look forward to that, Phil. Thank you. Robert Fratta spent 12 years on death row before his capital murder conviction was overturned last year by an appeals court. 2 men convicted with him in his wife's murder are now awaiting execution.